Yeah, thanks, Elvis. Now, green shoots of growth are beginning to sprout for the mining industry so far this year, with the World Bank forecasting strong gains for industrial commodities such as energy and metals. However, the spotlight is on the mining company's performance, which seems positive with a flood of opportunities for sector participants. But 2017 is still set to be a challenging year for the sector. And to talk about this, we are joined in studio by the head of mining at Cliffe, Dekker, Hofmeyr, Mr. Allan Reid. Mr. Reid, very good morning to you, and thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Welcome to the viewers.
The World Bank says the outlook for 2017 should be quite good. Are we going to? Is that the outlook for the South African mining industry? And more importantly, are we going to see rapid growth?
No, we are certainly not going to see rapid growth in the mining industry. For a forecast that have been put forward by the World Bank, I think at best we're looking towards the end of 2017 for recovery, and I think generally the recovery in pricing this year is expected to be fairly moderate.
The challenges, we listened to the DG a short while ago. We are aware of this trust deficit that exists between government and mining. Do you believe it will be addressed in the short term?
I certainly hope, for the sake of the mining industry, it is addressed. And I was quite heartened to hear what the DG had to say this morning. It does echo sentiments expressed by the Minister at the mining in Durban. And the mining industry is hopeful that those trust deficits can be addressed. It has a history of perhaps non-understanding of the new minister who came into the DMR, who I think is now starting to find his feet and is understanding the problems facing the mining industry.
Uncertainty is always a problem. We see that with the bill, we see that with the mining charter, we see that with empowerment. Talk to us a little bit about how uncertainty within the mining sector affects the kind of confidence we need in order to achieve the growth we're talking about.
Yes, it's one of the things that are critical to investment. There are various reports that are done worldwide that assess the attractiveness of local and international mining destinations for investor funding. This year, the Fraser Institute did a review of about 109 mining destinations, and South Africa is sitting at about 83. We're only the 11th destination of choice in Africa, behind the Democratic Republic of Congo. So there's a long way to go in building that confidence, and that confidence is critically based on certainty.
Now, you touched on the next point that I want to talk about, because the rest of the continent is becoming more and more attractive, and also they're upping their game with regards to technology and exploiting the mineral wealth properly, as it were. With the rest of Africa becoming more attractive, where does it leave South Africa?
It leaves South Africa in a very vulnerable position. The Organization of African Unity adopted the Africa Mining Vision way back in 2008. There was an action plan put in force in 2011, and there's now more lip service being paid towards this mining vision. And I think that is going to see Africa as a mining destination as a whole becoming more and more competitive. So it's absolutely vital that South Africa takes its position, its rightful position, given its history of mining over hundreds of years, in that race for capital.
Does that mean that going forward, South Africa will have to take the lead in the technological advancements in mining in order to remain ahead of the pack on the continent?
Yes, it does. But there are mines in South Africa that are very difficult to mechanize. Platinum is one of them, because of the very narrow seams. Coal mining, on the other hand, is fairly easily mechanized. So it's easier to mechanize some industries rather than others. But it's certainly something that's going to become vital in the future again. And it's something, not just the mining techniques, but the products that we use, in fact, from the mining, the commodities that we mine.
Now, we know it's the labour-intensive industry here in South Africa. It's one of our key employers. With mechanisation, with technology comes the expected job losses. How will that change the landscape? And do we foresee a future of unrest in South African mining?
No, I think it'll be a slow progression. As I've said, there are certain mines that are very difficult to mechanise. And from that point of view, we don't envisage job losses there at all. And I think there'll be a slow erosion of the unskilled mining element towards a more enlightened and more educated, mechanically educated mining workforce.
What do we have to get right in the first half of this year in order to achieve those benefits we talk about in the second half of the year?
Certainty, as you mentioned. It's absolutely vital. There is considerable consultation at the moment between industry and government, but the indications are not there that government is listening to industry. There's been an enormous amount of input into the mining charter, into the bill, and from what we've seen, it's basically been ignored. It's a cause of great concern.
How do we fix that? How do we circumnavigate that if the bill is under discussion, the charter is under discussion, empowerment's under discussion? Is there a meet me halfway scenario in the future?
Yes, I think there has to be. Litigation not the way to go. I heard it coined, was lawfulness or lawfare.
Yeah, lawfare. Well, you're the expert there. Thank you for joining us today. We've run out of time. Allan Reid is the head of mining at Cliffe, Dekker, Hofmeyr here in South Africa. And we're talking about, well, the outlook for 2017 after what was a very interesting mining indaba that took place, of course, in Cape Town last year. Thank you once again for being with us. Now,